Okay, before I do any fretting, one of the things that's real important to do, um, after this is sanded with 220, I do a visual inspection, and then I pointed out that if you see any little holes or divots or whatever around your inlay, then you just fill those in with rosewood dust and epoxy glue. Then you have to sand, let it dry, cure, and then you sand that down again, and then you're good to go for the fretwork. But what I do on the fretwork is I've got to, let me get a better, I've got to clean out my fret slots. So I use my fret slotting saw. You know, I've got several of them, but it's the one that fits in each groove comfortably. And you just pull, and you got to do this gingerly because you don't want to bounce the saw out, which happens, and then it'll mar up your fingerboard. So I clean out all the, you've got glue in there, you've got you know, your sanding dust, your white mother of pearl dust, your rosewood dust. There's a lot of debris in there that could create a problem when you try to put in new frets. And you know, obviously this fingerboard hasn't been fretted yet, so it's new, and the slots are very clean cut, wide enough, and the fretting should go pretty simple on this. Now I'm noticing one thing is I'm putting pressure here. I see a little bit of flex, not much, but fretting, you always want to have support under the fretwork, fret installation that you're doing. You never want to hammer on a finger, on a neck that's, you know, flexing up and down as you're hammering the frets in. So anyway, I just wanted to make a little video about that, just to have documentation. And you know, I'll do this to all the frets. And it's just pull forward, or pull towards you, I'm sorry. I only do it pull towards me because I have control. You know, it's like in anything that I do, if I don't have control, it's the wrong method. It's the wrong way of doing it. You always want to have control and know that you're very precise as to what you're doing. Okay, there we go. And I might do this 2 or 3 times just to verify that I have clean slots. So basically you insert the fret saw, you pull towards you, and you're making, keeping what you want to do is make certain that you don't pull that fret saw out and then bounce on the fingerboard. And trust me, it'll happen if you try to breeze through this real quickly. You know, there's something said that should be said about doing guitar work. You really need to be controlled. In a lot of cases, it's what you're doing needs to be precise. And I have found that if I'm tired, fatigued, angry, upset, or whatever, emotionally distraught, I won't work on guitars. It's like when I'm fed, I'm hydrated with liquids, and I have control, and I feel good and comfortable that I do my work. So, you know, rushing through jobs is just, it's always the wrong thing to do because you're going to screw up. I've proven that so many times. So let's go ahead and get some frets in here. I'll see if I can get another video on that. I think I've already done fret work. But anyway, next step would be bending the fret wire, which I did a small video on, and then putting in the frets, which I'm pretty sure I did another video on that. So what I'm going to do next is bend the fret wire, and there'll be approximately this length, as you see here. It's sticking out maybe about 1/4 of an inch on either side of the neck, and I arch the frets. If this is a 16-inch radius, I arch the fret maybe about it would be a lesser radius, like about a 10 to 15, which means there's more of an arch on it. The larger the number, the flatter the radius is going to be. So being at 16, I need to come down to about a 10, 11, 12. Anything larger, anything more radius than what you have here. That way when you put the fret wire in, it goes from being radiused and then it flattens out as you pound it in. So if I put a piece of fret wire flat and try to get that in there, it's not going to seat properly. I sort of work the fret down and it's radiused and then it opens up and flattens out onto the radius that I have here, which is 16 inches. Well, there you go.